Hi, Ennis from Never Stop Trucking here. A lot of you guys have been asking me about the software I'm using to manage my invoices, my trucks, my loads. At the TMS that I use is called Trucking Office, and then today I'm going to show you what it looks like. And I am going to go to the website, and they have a trial period, and it's doesn't say how long it is, but I'll sign up for the free trial and then I'll create a brand new account and then I'll show you like I'll add a driver, I'll add a truck, a load, invoice it, do pay settlement for a driver, and then just show you around on how you can use this software. It's I think between like $50 and $80 a month, depending on what level you're using. But in my eyes, it's worth it because it gives you a perspective into how much money you made, what brokers owe you. You can do pay settlements for drivers, for owner operators. You can have a history of the loads you've done, and you can look up all kinds of information like when did you do the last load with that broker, for how much. You can have statistics, how much money you made. They have reports for like IFTA, mileage, IRP, profit, all kinds of stuff. It's a light software that you use it on your website, and it's not very powerful like some other solutions out there for big companies. In my opinion, this is more for a small company, like up to like 20 trucks or so. But if you go further than that, then you need something more advanced. But for me, this is great. This is just enough. So let's start. Now let's look for truckingoffice.com. So we have this free trial here, and we're gonna go with that. By the way, they do ELDs and all that. I don't know anything about that. I still recommend keep trucking, and you can see that link in my description of the video. But for TMS, I recommend these guys. So you go to start free trial, and then we're just gonna use one of my emails. Use John Doe and then password. Okay. Company name, we're gonna be XYZ Logistics LLC. Our phone number will be this, and then I'm gonna go with Pro because this includes a lot more things. And how many trucks do you have? Now they will charge you based on the number of your trucks that you have. So 1 to 2 is less, 3 to 7 is more, 8 to 200 is way more. So let's just go with middle option here, and then I'm gonna do start trial. And then they will probably contact you too and then say, hey, how do you like the trial? Is everything okay? Do you want to sign up? Okay, so when you log in, this is what it looks like, and then it will ask you to complete some of these things. So we're gonna do that real, and not gonna do this. I'm gonna see if they add your first truck. So I'm gonna this is 101. This is truck, owner operator, active, and then we have optional fields. You can choose the information here put in about the truck, and then this is really good because let's put in today's 16th, and we're gonna say that this expires on 2020, and this expires on 24, and insurance expires on the 30th. So that will automatically tell us here at that home page that this is due to expire soon. So we're gonna save it, and then you have all this information about the truck. I'm gonna go back, and then you see here it tells you alert that you want your insurance expiration within 30 days, and you click on it, and then here it shows you that it's expiring, and then you can edit it. Like if you renew it, you just edit it here and then put in the new date, like for next year or so, and then it will update it and then notify you next year. So add your first driver, and then from Iowa, and now here payment, is it a percentage of the load, pay per mile, manual pay, driver contract? So I'm just gonna do a pay per mile here, and then it asks you how much you're paying, and then you just do let's just say 60 cents per mile, and then you have empty if you are paying empty, different than loaded. So I'm just gonna put in same, and then 3 miles range. Some companies, they used to have like 100-mile radius or 50-mile free, first 50 miles free to pick up the load, but I don't personally do any of that. I pay all the miles. And then you have the license expiration, driver's license that you can put in here, and the medical card when it's being renewed, and the hire date, termination date, and all that. So hire date today, and then it will also remind you if this is to expire within next 30 days. It will give you an alert, and then you can talk to the driver and then remind them. So we have our first driver. Add your first customer, planned load, trip. I'm not gonna do any of that. I'm gonna show you why. But here we have a load planner. You can add a planned load or a trip, and then you have see all your trips here. And then same here again with done loads, finished loads, and then your invoices will show up here. And then here in expenses, you can add expenses, categories, plans. Let me just add the category. I'm gonna show you here why. I'm just gonna do, let me do fuel, and then that will be permanent. Okay. So I'm just gonna do, oh no, add category. I'm just gonna add category. I'm gonna do scales, save. Okay, so we have, because we already have fuel and reefer. Okay. And the maintenance, if you want to do maintenance log entries, like, which truck, description and all that, amount, and it will, when it runs your profit report, then it will include this, and it will deduct it from the profit. And reports here, this is like tax reports, profit and loss, driver settlements. That's where you do the payroll. Expenses, IRP, it will run your miles for IRP and IFTA, revenues, all kinds of reports. And then settings here, we can change the addresses for my own address, for the broker's addresses, for drivers, units, and all that. So a lot of things. So usually when I do a load, I am going to, I'm just gonna pretend that I'm putting in a load that I did. Usually when I do invoices, I do it in 2 screens. So I have this in 1 screen, and I can look it up, and instead of just switching between tabs here. But here, let's just say that Jane Doe did a load recently, and that load was from Echo. It was paying $800, and it went from Wixom, Michigan to Huntington, Indiana. and then I need to put this into my system, invoice the broker, and then it will also stay there for calculations for future reports and for my records. So I need to make an invoice for this, load this strip, and I'm just gonna go here and then add planned load. So you can go to dashboard or load planner, I think even to loads, and it's basically all the same. And this is like the first load too, but you would usually see this button here, add planned load. Now this customer, that's in my case the broker. So I'm sending the invoice to the broker, and I need to bill them. So since we don't have any customers, usually it will, like, once you start typing echo, it will come up like, see, it remembered these. But since we don't have echo or in our system, nothing shows up. Once we add them to the system, it will show up here next time when you do a load. So you don't have to put in all the information every time. So you want to go to create customer from before. So, you would go to the rate confirmation and find their information, which is right here. This is their address. Usually they have it in the rate confirmation. Sometimes they have it in their packet. So once you have all this information here, like, see, this is the email where you can send the invoice, and that's what I use. If you're using a factoring company, you don't need this, because this will go to your factoring company. But if you're not using factoring company, you would find here where the invoice has to be sent. Like you see right here, they say like you can fax it or email it to this email address. So we have this email address here, it saved it from before, and then you go save. Now they're already here. If you want to edit it, something is wrong, you can just go to edit. But let's just say you're doing a new load, and you're doing add planned load, and then you start typing here echo, and it comes right away. You don't have to type it in every time, and the system already has all the information. Now shipper is where you picked up. So Wixom, it went from Wixom, Michigan to Huntington, Indiana. And then same thing here, like you go Wixom, nothing shows up. You have to create the shipper, and this is usually like for the company, but in our case I'm doing city only. So I'm just gonna, and this is like required city and state. So Wixom, Michigan, that's all I need, and I saved it here. So next time when I have a load coming from or to Wixom, I can just start typing here W, and it comes up, so I don't have to type it in every time. And the pickup date was 16th, and it delivered on the 17th in Huntington, Indiana. I'm just gonna create another destination here, Huntington, Indiana. And we have that. Now, you can put in bill of lading number, driver instruction. This is all optional here. This is all optional except for this. All brokers need their load number or the order number on the invoice. So when you put this here, it says it's included on the invoice. It will show on the invoice. So you find that load number, let me see, order number. So this is here for echo, and then I copy it, and then I would paste it here. And then that's all. And then we have primary fee was $800. And then, you can, there's a lot of options here, but I just do the primary fee. Now here, additional detention, if you had detention, if you paid for a lumper, stop off, tarp fee, all that, you put it here, and then it will show. Let's just say we had a lumper and we paid $100 for the lumper, and we want to get reimbursement from the broker. We're just going to put it here. Now this is if you had an advance like we spoke in another video, for like a com check or something like that, then if you get an advance already for this load, then you put it here and it will deduct it from this invoice. So this is it. It all looks good. You can put in custom load number, but you don't have to. It will generate it for you. You don't have to do that. Now save, and now we have all this here saved. And now there's one more step. We need to add a trip to this, because we need to assign a truck and a driver to this trip, so we can track the truck's mileage, and we can track this for drivers payroll. So you go to add trip, and then you find the driver, and now the first time you have to choose their truck and trailer. I didn't add any trailers, but it would be here. Now next time you choose this driver, the truck and trailer will automatically come up here with their last location. This is initial location because we are just starting from Kentwood. This is the first load they're doing, but in future when you do a next load, it will show here the last location where the driver was, and this will be automatically filled here once you select the driver. And then you go to save. And then you can edit trip, edit miles, update miles, and all that. You can send this via email too to someone, but now since we want to do an invoice, we want to send the invoice to the broker, you would go scroll down here and create invoice. And then it starts with 1,000. You can change this in settings here. You can tell them which number you want to start with your invoice. And this is required. The invoice number, custom invoice number, don't worry about that. Invoice date is usually today's. And then remit to, nothing here because we already know it's going to echo. And then our load is already checked here. And then you can, I don't usually mess with any of this here. And then you can create invoice. And now we have all the invoice specifications, like primary fee $800, lumper fee was $100. And now you want detailed PDF. You click on that, and then it will generate a PDF invoice for you. Now this, it has the broker's name and address, and since we didn't fill out the address, our address, but otherwise it will show here, and I recommend you put in your MC number and federal ID number, all that here, so when they get it, they know who to send it to. So this is your invoice. You can just download it and then send it, email it to the broker along with the rate confirmation. You save it, and the bill of lading you got from the driver. If you are using factoring company, then you would upload these 3 documents to their website, or however you're sending them your invoices. Now let me show you something else here. If you go to settings, and actually let's go to profile. Now this is your company. If you go to edit here, you add all your information and then notes here. If you're working with factoring company, usually they will have you state on each invoice that this invoice is only payable to that factoring company, and then you would put it here in notes, like something like, whatever they tell you to put in. This invoice is only payable to 123 factoring, and then you put in their address, 123 street, and all that, the city name. And now when you save this, this will reflect on the bottom of each invoice, and when the broker gets it, they know that they're only supposed to send it to that factoring company. So I'm going to save it and then leave it like that here. And now that's your invoice. And here in reports, in settings, you can add drivers, add a driver. you can add units. So let's say you want to add a trailer like 105, and then it will be a trailer type, whatever it is, a van or flatbed, and then if it's yours. And then here again put in expiration dates and all that. And the next time this will be assigned to you can assign it to your driver, and then it will be automatically there. So now let's say we want to pay that driver. Let's say that driver had worked full week, or maybe even this one load. So you go to driver settlements, and then you go to new settlement, and then you can choose here from the list of drivers. Okay, if you had more drivers, they will be all here, but we only have this one driver. And then you want to include loads. I usually do Monday to Monday. So well, let's just, because this was done this week, so we're gonna do this Monday to next Monday. Just go next, and then it will show all the loads that this driver did on that period. And if they're paid tomorrow on Friday, just put in that date, and then you can check, or you can check all on this if there are more loads, and then save. And then this is their pay. Remember, we put in that this driver is paid 60 cents per mile, and the system automatically calculated that trip and multiplied it by 0.6, which is how much they're paid per mile. And then we owe this driver now $192.54. And then here, if there are deductions, like let's say they had a cash advance for $100, you can put in a memo here, or you don't have to, but we don't have any category, so we're going to add cash advance category. And then this will remember for the next time you're doing payroll, so you just save that, and they have cash advance. And now you see their pay is now $99. Well, let's say they had some expenses. They paid $111 in expenses like additives and scales and such. And then you would go to additional pay, and then do 111 like last week sometime. And then you go like oil, antifreeze, scales, etc. And then category, we will add category, and it will be additives. Okay, and then it will remember it for the next time we do this. It will stay here, and then you save. And now the system says we owe this driver $203 because they had a cash advance here, but they spent $111, meaning they spent $11 out of their pocket, and then now we owe it to them. Okay, and then if you have more deductions and all that, you can even clone deductions from the last settlement if they have like recurring expenses. You can send this via email to the driver, and you put their email and message, and then send it. The system will send this to the driver, or you can save this in PDF format here. And then let me show you what that looks like when the driver gets it, what it looks like. So it has a professionally looking settlement with their address and your address, and their earnings, advances, deductions, and all that. And then it has all the information here. And then what's cool also, it has the year-to-date earnings, and then like it will add up for each check here, how much cash advance they had, how much money they made, and the expenses. So here we have all these expenses, and then what's cool, that you can determine, like if you do a cash advance, that will not go into driver's pay, like the gross pay when you give them their W-2 or 1099. You can determine easily what's a cash advance or a lumper, and what's actual pay. So hopefully this video helped you. a little bit here because there were a lot of questions that people asked me about what I use, and then real quick here you can do reports like IRP state reports. You put in all the trucks, and then generate a report for the period, and it will show you the states you traveled through, miles, and then you can store them by trucks and such. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll learn something, and then I'll see you around.